Hey guys, welcome to Devops School. Today we are going to learn about Splunk. Splunk is a tool which is used for monitoring, searching, analyzing and visualizing the machine generated data in real time. It can monitor and read different type of log files and stores data as events in indexers. This tool allows you to visualize data in various forms of dashboards. In short, we can say Splunk makes machine data accessible, usable and valuable for everyone.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in Devops School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
So what these devices are doing, every device is writing a log file in its own format. Okay, it would, if SIM was not there, okay, if SIM was not there, it will be very hard for an individual to go and read the log file of a firewall, to go and read the log file of VPN, to go and read the log file and router and switches. Okay, there are a number of things there. It is writing logs in its own format. So to understand, to collaborate everything, to understand it from a central location, to monitor everything from a central location, we have SIM into the picture, SIM into the picture, and Splunk is a tool under it. What we are doing, we are capturing the logs from all these devices into the Splunk. Okay, and one more thing, be it firewall, be it router or switch, be it a web server, what is happening whenever, for example, what these devices are doing, whatever is happening through them, they are writing in a log file. Firewall is writing all the logs in a log file, router is writing all the logs in a log file, web server is writing all the logs in a log file. So if we want the logs, what we are doing, we are deploying our forwarder there, universal forwarder, and that universal forwarder is capturing the logs and sending it to us, mainly the indexer component, as you can see in the diagram. Okay, that's what UF is. UF is a very lightweight application. You can install it on top of a web server. Okay. Any doubt on universal forwarder? I don't think so. Okay. Indexer is the second component. It is the main component. It is, you can say, the heart of Splunk, where all the data is stored. Whatever the forwarder is sending the data, all the data, where is the storage? Storage is basically at the indexer layer. All the data is stored here. A number of forwarders are forwarding the logs and everything is stored there. Now the third component is the search head, most important component. Search head is connected to the indexer. All the users in a production environment will be logging into this search head and will be searching the data. Okay, that's how the architecture is, these three important critical component on Splunk. Now let's talk about the deployment, how you can deploy the Splunk. Okay, there are three types of deployment. The first one we are talking about is the standalone deployment. What I mean by standalone deployment, for example, you have your laptop, you can download and install Splunk on your laptop. Okay, and with the help of that, you can search the data, index the data, parse the data, as well as input the data. All functions in a single instance of Splunk. This is for testing, proof of concept, personal use, and learning. This is what you get when you download Splunk and install with default setting. So what it is basically, I already have Splunk on my machine. So if I type this localhost, see, this is the Splunk that is working on my laptop right now. So if you have a personal laptop, you also can install this thing. Okay, this is the Splunk working on my laptop. Very fine. Okay, this is a standalone deployment. Sorry, This is a standalone deployment. This is for mostly for testing purpose in your environment also. If you have one server available, you can deploy this and you can test your things. For example, some data is coming in. Before sending it into the production indexer, you can test it on your standalone deployment. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the main thing. And all the three components, searching, indexing, parsing, and input is available here. Uh, how input is available here? Any idea, Pat? What input I'm talking about?
Yeah,
How the
this
input
would
stage
be,
is available?
yeah, the input I think on the standalone would have to be either the CSV files or
Yeah,
you
right. Absolutely
you
right.
can
Absolutely right.
yeah.
So here on the 1 second, just move this thing here. On the standalone deployment, here you can see the add data option. I can upload the static log file on this machine. That's what the input stage at a standalone environment is. Moving to the next, the basic deployment. Okay, what is happening here? We are having the single standalone deployment. Now I have one more instance, and I am moving the forwarder, the input stage onto the forwarder. All the things are same. Suppose I have my laptop beside me. Pat is sitting. Pat is sitting with her laptop. I deployed Splunk in standalone mode on my laptop. Now, what is the requirement from my side is I want the data that is residing on the Pat's laptop. So what I will do on Pat's laptop, I'll deploy a forwarder and I'll tell the forwarder that forwarder, please send the data to my laptop. That will be called as a basic deployment. Two instances are there. It is showing more than two, but basically two instances there. One is where we have Splunk Enterprise, and the other one we are having the forwarder. We are now separating the input stage here. We are moving it to the forwarder. Similar to server and standalone configuration, manage deployment of forwarder configuration. So basically, we are just managing the forwarder. Forwarders collect data and send it to Splunk server. So this is usually for very small deployment where you have a small production environment, very small, not much, very small production environment. You can have this type of deployment. Now, if we are
When you
talking
say
about
very
the,
small, when you
yeah,
say very small, what are you referring to? Like, how would you describe small? Like,
small is like only one or two forwarder you are having and you are sending very less data, very less
okay,
data.
okay,
It is not recommended for production environment. The
okay.
one that is recommended for production environment is this one, distributed.
Mm-hmm.
What we are having separate components here. Search heads are separate, indexer are separate, forwarder are separate. Okay, so let me give you an example. 1 second. Let me open a file. So what I mean by distributed, what I want to show you here is, suppose this is a Linux. Let me, I'm just simplifying things for you, Pat, so that you
Uh-huh.
understand.
Yeah.
Suppose this is Linux machine. Okay, I have three Linux machine. It can be Linux or Windows, it depends. And this is the third Linux machine. On top of this Linux machine, we are having a web server running. Okay, on top of this, a web server is running, or you can say a web server or database server, whatever you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I did, I installed an indexer here on this Linux machine. This is a production indexer, and on this machine, I deployed a search head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I want this data from this machine. What I'll be deploying, I'll be deploying a forwarder here.
Okay.
Okay, that's how the architecture is going to be, and what forwarder will be doing, forwarder will be just forwarding the data. So let me just mention it. Yeah, it will be sending data to the indexer, and from here your indexer will be connected to the searcher like this and will be searching the. This is a distributed architecture. Everything is on a separate component. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the architecture is. Let me save it for you. Yeah. System administrator and data administrator. So Pat, when you are going to give the exam, So what these Splunk guys have did, they have divided the course into two parts. The Splunk administration course, the official training, is divided into two parts. It is the first part is system admin and the second part is data admin. So I want you to just read it once. I give you 1 minute and then I'll start. Then I'll start explaining you this thing. Initially, when I also see this, I was also confused. Then I'll explain you in simple terms what they mean. Okay, Pat, time is over. Just 1 second. I have one more notes already available with me. I think from last class I don't have to write it again.
Okay.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So, Pat, I hope you are already aware with the working of a SOC environment, Security Operations Center. So just focus here. There are around 15 to 25 people that are working 24/7 in a Security Operations Center. There are 11 that are having read-only access and they are mostly freshers. Then there are L2 who are senior person and experience is approximately 4+ years. And there are L3 guys or most experienced guys 8+ years and they are team lead. That's how an operation teams work. Okay. If it's a big organization, there will also be a separate team. We called it as a build team or transition team or implementation team. 3 to 5 people mostly, and all of them are responsible for onboarding the data. Onboarding the data or implementing the Splunk end to end, a fresh implementation of Splunk. That's how organization work. So throughout the course, Pat, I'll be referencing this with the production environment, how things work and how it look like. Okay, not just theoretical knowledge. I'll be explaining you in reference to the production environment. So if it's a very big organization, tasks are separated, tasks are predefined. That's how it will look. If it is a small organization, this 25 people will be working everything. Okay, that's how the business is. But most of the organization you will find this type of organization. Separate rules are there. Now, when I'm talking about system admin, these are these people generally. Okay, the system admin, yeah, don't confuse that there is system administrator separately in your organization and data administrator separately. This is just a definition given by Splunk. I am referencing you so that you understand it better. Okay, what they are trying to mean. It is not official. It's not in organization that there will be separate system admin or data admin. You will see. You will just see Splunk admin. Okay. So according to course, what they are defining is these are the system admin guys. These people. And they are defining these people, the build team or the people who are implementing Splunk onboarding the data as the data admin. Okay. If you see here, where at what level and at which components these guys will be working. System admin will be working at the searcher as well as the indexer. The data admin will be working at most of the universal forwarder and the indexer part for creating the parser and other things, data models and all. Okay. The same thing is mentioned in the document, but in a complex word. So here is the system administrator is primarily responsible for system management efforts, which include system management, obviously searcher and indexer he will be managing. Okay. Monitoring console, respond to system health alert, install and manage Splunk apps, licensing, indexes, users and authentication, configuration file. All of this is lying here and here, indexer and searcher mostly. Okay, that's what a system admin will be doing. If we talk about the data admin part, data admin is responsible for data onboarding and management efforts, which include work with user requesting new data sources, document existing and newly ingested data sources, design and manage input for UF and HF to capture data, manage parsing, event light breaking, timestamp extraction, and other thing. Is it clear now? The roles are clear to you?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
any doubt? Okay.
But it seems like most organizations, you end up you doing everything like you were saying. It becomes like one person doing everything, both roles.
Yes, right. Absolutely right. So if it's a big organization, it's a new project, then teams will be separate. Build team will be doing their part. They will be implementing Splunk, then handing it over to the operation team with these 25 people. Then they will be onboarding the data continuously. This task will be separate. Operation team will be managing the operations, running the Splunk day to day. But if it's a very small organization, management will say these are the 25 people. They are going to do everything. This is the operation team and the build team. Okay. How it is defined in your organization, Pat? Is it
So
separate or?
my current organization, we have an onboarding team, which they
Okay.
do the system admin part, and then we have the operations. And in operations, there are different
Okay.
teams as well. There is the operations engineering. They do most of the data administration work, and then we have the detection engineering. They're the ones that are responsible for creating the searches and yeah, so the analysts are part of the detection
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
detection. There are some engineers, and then there is the
Not
analyst.
say it's security monitoring team, not detection, security monitoring team. The correct word will be this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Pat saying something? Yeah.
we refer to it as detection. It's a department of
Ah, okay.
yeah. So the
Okay, okay.
detection
Okay.
has engineers who are doing the data administration, and then there is the analysts who are doing the data monitoring.
Oh, okay, okay. Understood. Understood. Oh, what is your organization name, Pat? Is
Mhm.
it big?
Uh, it's a growing organization. We have about 300 employees.
Oh, very less. Pat, it's very less. Okay. Hey, is it a startup kind? Means, okay. I think you told me it started in 2001, I think so. I don't know. It is about thing. Someone told me. Might be I'm forgetting. No issues.
Uh,
Um, yeah. Uh, let's proceed then. Am I audible to you, Pat?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's proceed with the next part. That is the installation of Splunk. So we are not going to install Splunk right now. We will be seeing it in the next class. Right now, I'm just giving you an overview. What all things are required and what all things you need to see before you are going to install Splunk.
Okay.
So this is the pre-installation checklist that you should know. You should have a startup account. You should have a time synchronization, Splunk port, Linux setting, then installation, what all are the directories, and then post-installation settings that you need to check. So pre-installation checklist. Let's talk about the pre-installation checklist. First part, startup account. Um, Best practice is what Splunk is saying. Whenever you are going to install Splunk, do not install it with the root account or on Windows administrator account. Okay, that's the main thing. Is it clear to you?
Yeah. And I understand why, because once you install it as a root, then it will be difficult to do other tasks as a normal user.
Absolutely wrong, Pat. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm brutally honest, but this is an interview question. Please note it down. So the
Okay.
question is not only Splunk, whenever you are going to install any kind of tool in your production environment, any kind of tool, be it Splunk, ArcSight, or any n number of things are there. Every time it is recommended not to install it with the root account. Now I'm asking you any other point you want to say why root account is not recommended. Any point that is coming to your mind?
Oh, that's the one I gave the answer. You said wrong answer.
Okay.
Because the root
So,
account has the most privileges.
right. Okay. Let me answer it. Yes, you are right. Root account is having the most privileges. The reason why it is said that you shouldn't install any kind of application with a root account is, I hope you are already aware about the vulnerabilities part. There are n number of devices, and every day many teams are researching on it. The device owner, for example, Splunk is there. Splunk is also researching on its tool for any kind of vulnerability that can be exploited by an attacker. They are continuously researching. Everybody is researching. So if you take an example of Windows, every Tuesday Windows is releasing a patch update for all its system. That these are the patches, these are the vulnerabilities for which these are the patches you have to install. So if we talk about that WannaCry, I think you remember, I think 7-8 months back, the WannaCry was due to a vulnerability in Windows XP mostly, and its patch was released 2 months back. Most of the people didn't patch it, and their machines got compromised. So I'm just explaining you the other things. So here the main thing is vulnerability. So what I mean, what will happen? Suppose due to XYZ reason, if my Splunk has a vulnerability, okay, there is a specific vulnerability in Splunk. Pat is an attacker. Pat compromised my system, my Splunk application with that vulnerability. She did her hacking techniques, and number of things are there. She did it, and she hacked my Splunk now. She can easily get access to my root account also, because my Splunk is running with that root account. She can get access to that root account also. She can compromise the root account also. And once she compromised the root account, she is having full admin access over the machine, and she can also internally move to other machines also. That's the main reason why it's mentioned that you shouldn't install any kind of application on your server with root accounts, because anybody can exploit that application, and he can compromise the root account as well. In our case, if we didn't install it with root account, we install it with a service account with very less privileges, that the service account can read only this directory, OPT directory. Then what will happen? Pat, again with the hacking techniques, she compromised my Splunk machine, she compromised my Splunk application. Now she compromised my root account, this service account also. But this service account is not having any privileges. She can't do anything. But just she can shut down the Splunk application. That's all. I'll come back. My admin will come back, and he will start running the application. He will delete the service account. That's Pat is gone now from my system. So that's the main agenda why it is recommended not to install application with the root account. Is it clear to you now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the main thing from this slide. Yeah. Any doubt on this? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's definitely 100% clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And Pat, don't means don't explain these things to others in your organization. Please keep it to yourself. This is the secret of success.
I don't talk to people in my organization. I just about my personal life.
Oh, okay.
What I do
Great.
outside of work is my business, no one else's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Second thing is time synchronization. So Pat, again question to you. Why it is recommended in a pre-installation checklist that time should be synchronized? What is your say on this? Why Splunk is recommending
Because
here in the pre-installation checklist? Yeah.
Yes, one of the pre-existing I don't know if I can say components, but there are 5. Is it 5 or 4? When you install Splunk, those are there. I don't know how to explain that, but the moment you install Splunk,
4 components are there. Just
yeah, they are there.
Good.
So the time is one of them. Then there is the host name, and then there is the index, and I think the source. Is it the source? Yeah. So I'm thinking that's the reason why it has to be synchronized, so that it knows which time, it knows how to pick the time, as it's a requirement.
Okay, great. Partially right. Moving on to this, right, time synchronization. So Pat, Splunk is not recommending it. In production environment, it is always recommended that NTP should be there. What is NTP? NTP is network time protocol. There is a single machine in your organization that's time is synchronized to an NTP server outside the organization. It is connected to that outside NTP server, and it is capturing the time from that server. its clock, it synchronizes its clock every, I think, seconds, 10 seconds, or I don't know exactly. It's a networking concept. So it will be synchronizing at time. Now in organization, this is the NTP server in my organization. All my machines in the organization will be connected to him for getting the exact time. This is a general recommendation in the production environment. Okay. Now, why again Splunk is recommending it? So suppose, let's take an example. You have an organization X. There is a web server there. Multiple things are there. There is a particular web server. It got compromised. It is integrated with Splunk and it got compromised. It is not in sync with the NTP server. Suppose the timing on this server is showing as yesterday 2 p.m. Logs are coming into my Splunk. Time again in the logs will also be 2 p.m. yesterday. But suppose an attack happened there on that web server. It got compromised. Now my manager came to me and he asked me that, Shahrukh, please investigate what happened on that server. I'm searching. He told me that the attack happened just 1 hour back. I'm searching for the 1 hour back logs. But on the server, it is yesterday. I'll not be able to sync up things. That's why it is recommended NTP should be there on each and every machine. On Splunk server also, NTP should be there, so the timings will be synchronized among the Splunk machine as well. Okay, this point is also clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next setting, Linux setting recommendation. So I hope you are aware that Splunk can be installed on Windows and Linux as well.
Yes.
This pre-installation setting, okay. This pre-installation setting is for only Linux system. So there are two things. So how to explain you in simple terms? So in the beginning also, for I think 7 months, I remain confused here on this slide. What it is saying exactly? I did a in-depth research, then I got to know. So I'm explaining you in simple terms. Um, the Linux machine is somewhat restricted. They see Linux machine can do n number of things. Just imagine it as a car. You can run your car at 180 speed, but it has been limited to 100 only. They have limited to 100. Okay, you can't go beyond 100. Similarly, Linux machine, the Linux developers have limited it. Some of the configuration they have limited it, but when we are installing Splunk, we need to unleash the limit. We need to set a higher limit there. That's what this slide is saying. So there are three settings here. So whenever you are installing Splunk on Linux, it is asking you to make changes here. So when we are doing it practically, I'll show it to you, so don't worry about it. So it is basically what we are doing. We are unlimiting the core file size, the number of open files, the maximum user processes. So what is happening here, if you want to relate it with Splunk, when a Splunk is working in a production environment, it will be reading n number of files. N number of logs will be coming into it. It will be reading it. It will be writing it. Okay, it needs more limits. The current one that is limited, it is not. It will not work well. It needs unlimited. It needs more higher limits for itself. So that's what we are doing. We are setting this thing here. We are unlimiting the file size. You can see core files is unlimited here. The open number of files is 336. That's what we are doing. This is the first thing. Second thing is turn transparent huge pages off on Splunk enterprise server. So whenever you are installing Splunk, this THP, what it means is basically the Linux setting, it is playing with the memory setting. The memory on the Linux is also limited. I am turning it off and I am unleashing the limit. That's what I'm doing on this slide. Is it
Yeah.
okay? I'll show you this part again. Not to worry. This is sorry. Let's go back to. We talked about startup account. We talked about time synchronization, Splunk port, Linux setting recommendation. Once you install it, how the directory looks like. Here is the directory structure. So Pat, where the indexes are stored, in which directory? Any idea? The data.
Also, it will be OPT. Yeah.
No.
OPT bin, or it can be.
No. So all the data, when you are talking about indexer, all the data is present here. In OPT, var, lib, Splunk, here are the indexes. We'll be seeing it in detail. I'm just giving an overview. This is where my data is.
Okay.
In etc file, all my apps and user configuration are present. License is also present here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is bin executable, so these are general executables, so not to worry about. This is the directory structure, and one more thing, this directory structure is common. Be it so, be it on the Splunk is installed on Linux machine, be it installed on Windows machine, be it installed on Mac OS. Wherever you install, irrespective, yeah.
The
Please go.
Splunk home is OPT.
See, OPT, yeah, right. If it's a Linux machine, it can be in OPT. If you want to install it on any other directory, it can be that also. I want to install Splunk on Charuk, and inside it I have installed Splunk, the home directory will be Charuk. Clear?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So be it on Windows machine, be it on Linux machine, Mac OS, this directory structure will remain same. Be it on universal forwarder also, the directory structure will almost be same. So you don't have to worry about that directory structure might be different. Things will be stored in another directory. No, this will be the common. Most of the things will be common. There will be minor change on universal forwarder, but most of the things are same. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving to the next part. Okay, so we have installed Splunk. We have seen the directory. Now post installation configuration. Run Splunk at boot. So are you aware about, I think you have worked on Linux machine, what this slide is trying to say, Pat? Any idea? Whatever is coming to your mind.
Yeah, so when you're studying the computer, you need to be able you can also run Splunk at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Partially correct. So what this slide is, mostly this slide is basically for
Are you able
the Linux machine only.
to share with me some of these slides? The slides?
I'll be sharing all these slides with you. Pat, this is only for you.
Yeah,
I've already read it.
I'm the only one who paid. I'm not giving anyone who hasn't paid anything.
Sure.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan, and grow your skills immensely.
I'll be sharing it with you by the end of the session. Okay. So this slide is specifically again for Linux. What is happening here? Let's talk about Windows first. When I'm installing any kind of application on Windows, so what will happen? It will create a service here in the task manager. I have the service for Splunk also. I've installed Splunk on my laptop. Here is the Splunk service. When you install an application on Windows, it starts running, and it's automatically became auto start. I shut down my Windows machine n number of time and restart again. That service will be running. Okay, Splunk will be running at the backend. But on Linux, what happened is Linux is again restricted here. It is very secure. That's why it is secure. Most of the things are restricted. Everything is restricted. You can't easily hack or modify Linux. So what is happening here in Linux is when I install any kind of application, you install it, but you didn't run the boot command that we are going to run, that we are going to see. If we didn't run the boot command, I shut down my Linux machine, I start again, that application will not be starting, will not be running. That's the default. So in Linux, in short, in Linux machine, you have to tell the Linux machine that this application will be auto boot start. Whenever you are restarting yourself, this application should be running. That's what this slide is saying for Linux. So going back to that slide. That's what this slide is saying.
Okay, that makes sense.
Splunk service whenever you restart. Clear?
Yeah.
Moving to the next. This is easy. Just 1 second. Yeah, important ports.
So
Splunk
D is the Splunk daemon.
Yes, Splunk daemon. That is the heart of the Splunk that is running all other services.
Okay.
It is internally running on port 8089. Internally, it is running on port 8089. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it is managing everything. All our
Okay.
child process and number of things that is managed by Splunk D service. So here also you can see in my task manager, this is the Splunk D service.
Yes. Yeah.
My Splunk is running here. It's working fine.
Okay.
Okay. If I stop this Splunk D service, let me stop it. It didn't stop or what? Okay, let's stop it. Hmm. Why Splunk service are not stopping? Uh, Okay, anyways, it will stop. So one more thing, one troubleshooting step for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you are running Splunk on your machine, it didn't respond sometime. Okay, it is
Mm-hmm.
responding, but anyhow it shouldn't respond. It should show
Mm-hmm.
me an error page. It will show an error page. So first thing you have to check is whether your Splunk service is running or not. It is stopped. I think it will show me now. Let me open a new window and close this one. I don't know why it is working.
So if,
So anyway, it will throw an error. Okay, whenever you are running, it will not connect. You see, like this, it is not connecting right now.
okay.
First thing you have to do is first thing just check the service whether it is running or not. I was
Oh,
also facing the same error in the beginning, and I troubleshooted for 3 days. I didn't find any solution. Then one person called me and he told me that your services will be stopped. Please check and restart the service there. Then I went there, I started the service, and it started working. Okay.
and in Linux you just run the stop command, right?
Yeah, yeah. In run stop command and just check the services in the directory there.
Okay.
Okay, check the services whether it is running or it is stopped.
Okay.
Splunk web port, you are already aware that is it is 8000. If you want to change the web port, you can change it also.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, so this is about the installation and all other
Then
things. Let's talk about the package.
always the
Yeah.
password will be change me and then you change it, right? That's the default password.
Which one?
The
Admin and yeah,
default
change me,
password.
change me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, change me. If you don't give any password during the installation, it will be
Mm-hmm.
change me.
Okay.
Okay. Moving to the next part. Okay. Um, Pat, are you aware? Just tell me how many type of installation file are there on Splunk website. On for Splunk, how many type of installation file are there? If I want to install an indexer, what is the installation file that is required? If I want a search head, what is the installation file that I required? For a forwarder, what is the installation file that is required? Are you aware about it?
Uh, I don't want to give a wrong answer, so
No, no, no issues. Pat, don't demotivate yourself. It's good to speak.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, what's coming to mind are the configuration files, but I'm thinking maybe that's not it.
No, 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 not configuration file. So
Okay.
let's go to the website. Are you aware about this Splunk website or not?
Yeah, I know that like if you're
Do you
installing
have
it
account there?
on Linux, you can go to the there's a actually there's a already given Linux command where
Do
you
you
can
have
just
your account there, Pat?
uh,
Do you have your account there on the
do I have
website?
the account? Yes, I have a Splunk account.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So
And
this
then
is the website. Yeah,
uh-huh.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. I
Go ahead.
I've downloaded Splunk.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this is the website, Pat. So where everything is available, Splunk website. So
Mm-hmm.
let me log in first of all to showcase you. Just my username. Shit. What's- Hmm, design. Yeah, this is the website. Now what we are talking about is we are talking about the installation file.
Mm-hmm.
If you want indexer, if you want searched deployment server, license master, heavy forwarder, master node, just go to the website and download the Splunk enterprise package. If you
Okay.
want a universal forwarder, you need a universal forwarder package.
Okay.
Only two type of installation files are available on the website. First is Splunk enterprise and the other one is the forwarder. Clear?
Okay.
Let
Mm-hmm.
me show it to you. One second. Uh, down Splunk. Sorry. Down, Splunk enterprise here. It's the first one, and this is the other one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the universal forwarder pack. The current version is 8 and the running version is 1.0. What is the version that you are running right now of Splunk, Pat?
My on is 8 point. Yeah, it's 8 as well. 8.14, or is it 3? Yeah.
Be exact. Trevor can ask this also. He will ask you what is the version of Splunk that you are running. What is the universal forwarder version you are running? He will ask it. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. So here you can see you have this Splunk universal forwarder. If you want a forwarder, you will come here and download the package. If it's on Windows machine, download this one. If it's Linux machine, go to here, download any of this one depending on your system. Solaris, Mac OS, everything is available here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want an indexer, if you want to search it, download this package, Splunk Enterprise.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be it here, most people get confused in this thing only, which installation file I need to download. So they just keep it, remember in your mind. There are only two files. The first one is universal forwarder. If you want a forwarder, you will be going to the website and downloading it directly. If you want any other component, be it deployment server, deployer, indexer, searcher, you will be downloading this component. Clear?
Clear. So for the .tgs and .dmg, what's the difference?
Which one?
The extension
Oh,
files.
it depends on the operating system, Pat.
Because like
I also
the Linux does have .dgx, .db, yeah.
not. I always download this one only, and it works for me. This is
Okay.
zipped and tarred. So,
Okay.
what do you mean by tar
So you
is
don't
the
have to
load.
try it once you download that one, or you can. You don't have to unzip
What?
it.
Yeah, you have to unzip it and untar it.
Okay.
I'll show you when we'll do the installation. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now, if someone say you want an older version, suppose
Mhm.
Pat is my manager. Pat came to me and she told me that we are running Splunk 6.0. Now you need to install Splunk 7.10. How to get that older version installation file? Any idea?
Yeah, you go to I think once you click on the downloads, it will give you the I think
No.
is
Click
it
on
dump
download.
something. You can search exactly for the type of file you want. The
That is also a way, but the easiest way will be, let me show you the easiest way. Here is the option of older release. Just click on this
Mhm.
at the bottom, and all the release version you can see it easily. Let's let it load. See where it is. Yeah, here.
Mhm.
Check out the version.
And it's always good to recommend older versions for customers, especially, right? Because of
What?
I'm saying it's better to recommend a slightly older version, not the newly released ones, just in case there are some patches that needs to be done.
Yeah, right. Absolutely right. Okay. I hope it is clear now for you. One second. Okay. Walking you through some of the general settings of Splunk. I hope you are already aware. As a part of syllabus, I have to take you there. So general settings here. Here is the server settings. Let me click on it. Clicking on general settings. Here. The first one is the Splunk server name. So Pat, when there are multiple Splunk components, be it searched, indexer, or searched in cluster, deployer, server, all of them will be talking to each other through this Splunk server name. It is an internal thing. They will be talking to each other with the help of this server name. Is it clear?
Yeah.
It's an internal thing. You will not be able much to change here, but just for your information. Installation path where your Splunk is installed. It's on Windows. It is showing C program file Splunk. If it was on Linux, I've installed it in OPD directory. It will showing as OPD directory here.
Okay.
Management port is 8089. Port that Splunk web uses to communicate with the Splunk D process. It's an internal port. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can also change it, but I'll recommend never to change the management port or the default ports. You can change it, all the default ports, but there are n number of things that are running at the backend. All those things also you have to change. You don't know. Okay, so it is always recommended never to change the default port. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there is Splunk web. Run Splunk web, yes or no. If you don't want this Splunk web to be running, you can select it as no. So Pat, any idea where this web will be disabled? Splunk web,
Where it will be what?
where it will be disabled. Why this option is given to us? Any idea?
I mean, there are times when you would, like, if you have a single instance, yeah, you wouldn't be.
No. On single instance, I need the web access, definitely. So what happened? This is mostly for the indexer. In production environment, I don't want people log into the indexer directly and search for things. If in your production environment, people are directly logging to the indexer web and searching the things, okay, you want to disable them, you can just come here and just select it as no.
Okay.
This will be disabled. Then people only log into.
In any production environment, it will be no. But if it's your
It
personal,
depends on
then
you.
it will be yes.
Yeah. It depends
Okay.
on you. This is an option. If you want to disable it, you can disable it.
Okay.
I just give you a scenario where it can be utilized.
Yes.
Okay. Enable SSL HTTPS in Splunk web. So if you want your Splunk to be running on HTTPS, just select yes. Okay. The web port is 8000. It is running on 8000. If you want to change it, it can be changed. It can run on 8001 as well. You can make the changes and then you can log out and run again.
Okay.
App server port, it's an internal port. Not of much use. I have never used it. If you have any idea, you can also tell me.
Okay.
Any idea on this?
No.
Session timeout. If I don't do anything for 1 hour, automatically Splunk will log out. If you want to change the timing, you can change the timing as here. For example, you want to set it to 5 seconds also, I can do it. Okay. Default host name, index setting, default host name. See, it is talking about index setting. What I mean by default host name is when you are uploading a CSV file, in the host field, you will automatically see a value. That value will be this. Here, if you want to change any other thing, you can change it.
Okay, sorry, there's gonna be noise. My neighbor is doing something to their house, so.
Oh, no issues. Um, yep. So this is the default hostname. Path to indexes. This is where the data is stored. The data present in the index.
And you can change the path based on where you've
No,
stored it,
no, no,
right?
no.
That's
It
the
is not
default.
changing. Yeah, it's gray out. You can't change it.
Okay.
On this path, it will be asked in an interview.
Okay.
Now the most important setting on this page is the pause indexing if free disk space falls below 5000 MB. Um, what this is saying is, let me open a paint here. So what this setting is, basically this is my indexer. It is having 10 GB of storage. There are multiple forwarders sending data to it. Okay. Now some misconfiguration happen here. So in number of reasons can be there, or in number of things happen. Suppose something nice has happened in your organization, it starts sending more data to you than you expected. Start sending, you can say 5 GB per minute. Now, if your indexer keep on indexing the data, obviously it will reach its size of 10 GB. Keep on indexing data, it will reach 10 GB. Your whole memory will be full. N number of things can happen on the induction machine. It can crash, it can hang, it can completely get destroyed. Your own host, or your whole machine, it get completely crashed. It get the hard disk get crashed. A number of things can happen. To avoid such kind of situation, what Splunk says is, I can set a limit. For example, this is 10 GB of data on hard disk. Indexer will be using it. I can set a limit on 1 GB. That if 1 GB is remaining, Splunk should not index. It will start giving an alert to you, to the admin, that the limit has been reached. This is the same setting here. I am setting that limit here. Is it clear to you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main important thing, where you can limit the whole indexer size. Okay. Going back to the setting, login background. If you change the login background, you can also change it. You can upload a image of your organization. It will be uploaded there, and whenever you are logging in, see that image. Okay. Email setting. Are you aware about this, Pat? Email setting.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Yes, Pat. Tell me. I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Yeah, so the email setting, you use it like if there are certain alerts you want to come directly to you. The email that you put in there is where the information will be coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Absolutely right. I think, but I assume you don't know the background here. So, for any application or any server to send email, it needs to be connected with the email server in your organization. There will be an email server team sitting who will managing the email server, email gateway usage. What my requirement is, I'll be reaching out to them. Okay, you have to fill this form here, Pat. For the email settings to work on your Splunk machine, you have to fill that form. You have to get the information from the email team. You will be asking them the information of their email host or the email server. Okay, you will be asking them whether they have enabled SSL or TLS. Okay, then you will be asking them to create a username and password, to create a user on their email server that my Splunk will be using to send email. That's what is happening here. They will give you a username here. For example, they will create a user Splunk at pat.com. They will be assigning a password there on their Splunk, on their email server. You will put this thing here. When your Splunk has to send email, he will be connecting to that email server. He will be logging in with his username and password, and then he will be able to send the email. That is the main background here.
Okay.
Clear to you?
Yeah.
So yeah. So other settings are not of much use. They are default setting. I also don't know. So this is the main crux here. You need to enable this thing. System. This is done. Go back to the settings tab here. Setting. Email setting. Server logging. So this is all not of much use basically. This is for what I can say. Server logging is basically this is the log level.
Okay.
I hope when you are facing any kind of issues or errors, you will be searching it in the log file. Am I clear?
I don't know.
Okay. Um, so, for example, if you are facing any kind of error on this Splunk, something is not running. So, in production environment, what we basically do is uh, Splunk. Where is my Splunk? Here is the Splunk. I'll go to the one of the directory where all the important files are stored. This is the path, Pat. Splunk
Okay.
war log Splunk.
Okay.
Here, the most important configuration file is the splunkd.log.
Mm-hmm.
If I am facing any kind of issue on Splunk, I'll be searching in here.
Okay.
Okay, any kind of error will be reflecting here. Keep in your mind. If someone asks you, your Splunk is not running, what you will be doing? You will be telling him your steps, whatever you know, whatever you have answered. In
Mm-hmm.
the end, if that doesn't satisfy or if it doesn't resolve the issue, you just tell him that I'll go to the splunk d.log file and I'll search for the error what it is throwing. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you resolve it. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So there, here you are seeing this info tab here. Info is here, and you will also be seeing more. Just 1 second. Error tab here.
Mm-hmm.
Warning tab here. How this coming? This is coming from here. This logging level is defined already.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Okay.
coming from here. If you want to change it, you can change it also.
Okay.
I think it is right now. I'm not able to do it, but it can be changed. And if you want to see it in one of the log file, 1 second, it is present in one of the log file. Log file name TC. Yeah, it is coming from here. See,
Mm-hmm.
all the setting that you are seeing there, it
Oh,
is
that's
coming
the
from
store.
log. Yeah, log. It is available inside which directory? Splunk etc. Log is the file, con file. Okay.
Yeah.
What else is there? This deployment client is not search preference. Not of much use. This is just basic settings. Now let's move to the next thing. Anything I missed from the Splunk? Yeah. One more thing, Pat. One more question to you. You are working on Splunk. What are the different ways you can restart your Splunk?
Uh, I mean, the only way I know is the start Splunk command, like
Okay.
either restart or or start.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So, Pat, one of these, one of the restart method is come here in the server controls settings, server controls.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the restart option. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Second option, if you are working on Windows, here is the restart option.
Okay.
If you are working on CLI Linux, that's Splunk start command, restart command. You already know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because
And
we don't
yeah.
have both companies. My current company and if I end up with the other one, they all use MacBooks. So you end up using Linux.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, but you can, if you have a CLI GUI, you can restart from here as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Or there is one more method in the messages tab. So what is the messages tab here is,
Mm-hmm.
in case there is a major change you did, it will automatically start appearing in the messages tab that you need to restart your machine. You can just directly click there, it will restart. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Splunk will automatically detect it that you have did some major configuration. Now
Mm-hmm.
Splunk needs to be rebooted.
Okay.
If you have liked our Splunk session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.